As JStrathmanPers once eloquently said, they ain't teaches taxes in school. Long story short, I'd like to change that. With college prices and student debt rates rising, young adults of this country deserve to graduate high school with financial knowledge of some of the biggest money decisions they will make over the next 5 years. Since we're all planning on attending college next year, it's safe to assume we've all thought about how we're going to pay for it at least once. And for many of us, college is going to be one of the most, if not the most expensive item that we have purchased thus far in our lives. And so, as someone who has taken personal finance, done her research, and been raised by a finance fanatic, sorry, Dad, I feel prepared to talk to you all today. So today I will demonstrate the need for personal finance by talking about the rising student loan debt crisis in our country, how personal finance could solve this issue, and what this would look like for our country as a whole. While there are many aspects of personal finance that I deem necessary, the most applicable one to you all right now is student loans. According to Time Magazine 2019 contributors Senators Thune and Warren, our country is $1.5 trillion in student loan debt. And this exuberant, unnecessary loan amount is the main reason for my push for financial education for young adults. Maybe you have heard before that student loan debt is good debt because it means you got an education. However, our non-financial advisor, radio show host, and author Dave Ramsey would disagree. He would point to situations such as Justin. Justin is a recent orthodontic residency graduate with over $1 million in student loan debt, and he did not have proper financial education before he took out those loans. While Justin's case is severe and the average medical school debt is 80% less at only $200,000, it does point to the severity of student loans when they're left unchecked. Now, after a 4 years bachelor's degree, your predicted average debt is only $40,000. However, this takes 20 years to pay off and can bring along a lot of emotional stress and baggage right along with it. Founder and producer for The Financial Diet, an online video series to teach young adults about money, Chelsea Fagan talks about these emotional issues and how living day to day with this amount of stress in your life can take its toll on your body physically. She says that in her video, How to Get Good with Money in 1 Year. And so if you've been listening to me talk about student debt and its negative effects and have had nothing to identify with, that's awesome for you. I'm just a little bit jealous. But even if you graduate college with not a penny owed to the government, you could still end up contributing to the student debt crisis in our country one way or another. Many know that for the 2020 presidential election, Democratic candidates such as Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren have plans to dramatically lessen the student debt crisis and college prices in our country. Sanders stated in 2019 that his plan would be executed by raising taxes, so even if you don't owe any money from your college, you could still contribute to the growing problem in the United States. If you have had the opportunity to take personal finance here at high school, you will know of Dave Ramsey's Financial Peace University curriculum that's used to teach here. He states in his book, Financial Peace University, that this curriculum was not originally taught to students. He and his wife had began teaching out of their garage to people about money and quickly realized that they needed to be teaching this information to students. It was so valuable for younger generations. And not only do I think that personal finance should be a required course in high school, but so do 93% of adults. Every year, my dad, the personal finance teacher here at the high school in his 25th year of teaching, hears at conferences how parents are so grateful that their students can take the course and how they wish they would have had the opportunity to in high school. He hears stories such as Amy's. Amy was a high school senior who took the class her second semester of her senior year. Because of the information she learned in personal finance, she was able to graduate college with very little student loan debt and manage it and pay it off successfully in her 20s. He's heard so many stories like this, and they all back up the claim that personal finance makes a lasting difference in those who are able to take the course. And for many new programs implemented in schools, one of the major initial pushbacks is cost. It's no secret that schools are tight on money sometimes. Brian Kaplan, an author for the Library of Liberty and Economics, wrote in Does High School Algebra Pass a Cost-Benefit Test? That less than 10% of students retain algebra skills for more than 5 years after graduation. And while students may complain all the time about having to take these courses, there could be merit in those complaints. When students are required to take courses that they don't even retain after high school, it could be a waste of time and resources that could be allocated to classes that you are assuredly going to use for the rest of your life. You're never going to get away from managing your money. It's always going to be something you have to do. And this may sound like a great plan, but would it really work? Without a nationwide requirement for personal finance to be a required course, it's hard to say exactly how this would be implemented and what it would look like. However, there are a couple logic-based speculations that do seem plausible. One, consumer debt would decrease along with student loan debt. And consumer debt refers to any type of loan besides a mortgage or a home loan, and also credit card debt. While student loan rates are also very high, so is consumer debt, and this amount of debt prevents younger generations from investing in things like homes, which is harmful for the economy. And without a drastic change in personal finance education or loan forgiveness, the $1.5 trillion figure is only going to rise. This figure prevents younger generations like our generation and millennials from buying homes, which can be detrimental to the economy and could potentially lead to another recession like in 2007. Now, with a predicted average of $40,000 in debt, your total only makes up $200 million of the total debt in our country. However, that does not mean that your contributions or lack thereof don't matter. If you haven't gotten the gist of my speech already, I really want you to take personal finance if you can second semester and haven't taken it yet. I really think that that class is valuable for the rest of your life and that those skills you are going to use every day. If you're also like me and are value financial education for others, I would encourage you to speak to McPherson High School administration about requiring this course to graduate. Using your voice could impact the future of our economy, even though that sounds crazy. Thank you for your time.